Hey team, I want to invite you to a fun little 6-week program that I'm running in October and early November this year. It's called Anatomy and Movement. Now, this is not really an anatomy course as such. We're not going to be learning names of muscles and lists of actions and things like that. It's really, the idea is it's an extension of what we do here in the podcast in relation to, we're talking about some of the same topics, anatomy and biomechanics wise, but it's a much more extending the idea of the podcast into a more interactive format so that it's all done live. Every week for 6 weeks, there'll be a live lecture with me, and then there'll be a live masterclass with our lead trainer for the diploma, Heath. And those sessions are also recorded, so you can watch afterwards if you want. And each week we're going to explore, just go down interesting rabbit holes and explore, what I think are fascinating topics around anatomy. And the idea is to really explore things from an angle that possibly you haven't thought about things before. So we're going to, for example, look at neutral and imprint spine positions and how forces on the spine change in each of those positions. We'll look at how the facet joints in the spine guide the movement of the different spinal regions and how that affects the shapes that the spine makes. We're going to look at the shoulder muscles and the fact that many of those shoulder muscles have more than one action. And we'll look at which ones those are, what their actions are, and why that's important, and how that impacts what we do as movement teachers. We're going to look at anatomy and biomechanics of the rotator cuff. So you probably know what the rotator cuff is, and you probably even know where it is, but you probably haven't talked about the biomechanics of the rotator cuff. And so we're going to go down some really interesting directions with that, and I'm pretty excited to share that with you. We're going to talk about how the hip muscles guide movement and also bones and muscles of the knee. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's a live lecture every week. It's 45 minutes, plus we're allowing 15 minutes afterwards for Q&A where we just have a good chat about whatever we've just talked about. And then the masterclass is 45 minutes where you will actually practice embodying the concepts that we've talked about during the lecture. So it's a movement experience. It's not a, quote, Pilates class as such. It's an exploration of anatomy and an application to enable you to feel and, viscerally get the concepts that we discuss and explore in the lectures. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's a live course. It's basically a token price. It's $149 US for 6 weeks of live lectures. There's a link in the show notes. You can enroll online. I'd really love to see you there. Would love to meet you and hang out with you. It's an online program. You can literally do it from anywhere in the world. From your lounge room. I really hope we get the chance to work together, and I look forward to seeing you there.